The headline was dated tomorrow. Midnight wind rattled the bus shelter as a boy unfolded the damp paper. Bridge collapses at dawn. Dozens feared dead. The hour was still unspent. Could one line on a page bend the city's fate or seal it? At first light, Omar sprinted to the Wadi Abdun bridge, throat raw from warnings. Sirens mocked the empty air, until concrete sighed. A hairline crack, then a roar of dust. He dragged a tea vendor clear at the exact minute the paper had printed. The city, stacked like sand-colored books, watched him return home. Omar lived in a cramped walk-up in Jabal al-Wabda. His mother sewed, his father drove a taxi. At the door, another damp copy waited. Again, dated tomorrow. Ink cool, as if just breathed out. He tested the prophecy with small mercies. A lost cat found under a Fiat exactly at noon. A power cut arriving to the minute. He whispered to a shopkeeper in Ras Al Ain, "Move your sacks before the rain." Hours later, floodwater licked empty floorboards. Saving tomorrow became a habit. He phoned an ambulance 5 minutes before an old woman's heart failed near Al Hussein Medical City. She lived. Sleep thinned. He stopped walking streets. He patrolled minutes, chasing headlines like sparks blown ahead of a brush fire.
Then the margin notes appeared. Under a corrected time, a thin line in tiny type. Casualty shifts to delivery truck on detour. Omar watched a siren flash where his warning had diverted traffic. He had saved someone, and someone else had been drafted to take their place. Word spread faster than weather. Cameras prowled the souk. A reporter asked if he was the boy who bent time. Calls to prayer braided with shopkeeper shouts as whispers named him a saint, a fraud, a curse. Omar kept his eyes down and clutched the paper tighter. One dawn, the paper stared back. Front page. Teen prophet triggers panic. Market stampede likely. Below, a grainy photo. His shoulders, his hands. Authority notices changed shape. Men in plain clothes lingered. Help had become heat. Every word felt like a match. He tried to kill the source. On a rooftop in Ashrafia, he fed the newspaper to a cooking flame. The edges curled, ash lifted, and spelled fresh letters in the wind. He soaked it. Ink bled, recomposed itself, a bruise reforming. Tomorrow would not burn. The masthead listed an address east of the city. He tracked it to Sahab's industrial estate. Low concrete boxes, dust blowing across chain link. Inside a shuttered print hall, the floor still warm, a hum under metal. No workers, yet paper smelled newly born. He stepped between idle presses. Blank reels spooled to black type without hands. A page snapped forward. Headline: Vigil turns to chaos. 19 injured after boy appears at Hashemite Plaza. He hadn't planned any vigil. The city had written one around him. Omar grabbed a blue marker from a foreman's desk and scrawled across the headline. No injuries, crowd steady. The letters quivered, reflowed, muscled his line to a corner. The press did not need truth. It needed belief. He could not outright the machine. At dusk, he walked into the place the page had chosen, Hashemite Plaza, under the Roman theater's stone ribs. Candles multiplied. People waited for something to break. He climbed a step, raised empty hands. "Nothing moves unless we move it," he said. "Stay. Breathe." A child stumbled. A gasp braided into fear. The first push began. Omar met the eyes of a line of officers and shouted for gates open, for space. Volunteers linked arms. The surge met a softer wall and dissolved. For a long breath, the city chose silence over ink. The presses across the valley shuddered into quiet. Dawn arrived clean. No damp rectangle waited at Omar's door. Kiosks downtown stacked only ordinary papers, full of weather and football.
Rumors weakened in daylight, like bats folding back into stone.
He stood by scaffolds where the bridge would be mended, traffic wrinkling around cones. In his pocket, the final wrinkled page, a single stubborn line. The cost of knowing is courage. He let it go. Wind took it over the wadi, and today, at last, was enough.